Most people who try to learn Spanish fail, and it's not because they used the wrong app or the wrong book, or they didn't study enough grammar. It's because they were focused entirely on the how, while overlooking the three foundational pillars that actually mean the difference between failure and success. And if you've ever felt like you're hitting a wall like me, it's likely not a problem with your lessons. It's a missing link in your strategy. Today, I'm going to share with you three powerful concepts that will unlock your Spanish fluency. And these aren't just tips, they're literally the foundation that will take you from struggling to speaking Spanish fluently and enjoying the process along the way. Now, here on Forever Spanish, we will absolutely talk about things like comprehensible input and grammar study. But those tactics only work if you have these three essential pillars supporting them. And when you do, that Spanish fluency dream becomes an inevitable reality. So let's jump into the first one. What if I told you that, depending on the study, over 90% of people who start learning Spanish will quit? Not because they can't learn, but because they never truly connected with their why. As a published author, I've written books, novels, countless stories. And you know what? It's really common. So many people I've met over the years, they've told me, "Oh man, that's cool. I've always wanted to write a book." Most never do. Why? Because a general "that would be nice one day" feeling isn't enough. Writing a book's hard. You need a reason that pulls you forward, even on the hardest days. Well, learning Spanish is exactly the same. I meet people all the time who like, "Oh man, that's so cool. I've always wanted to learn Spanish." But you can tell it's a nice to have. And nice to have will not get you through the hard work. It will not get you through a plateau. For me personally, becoming fluent in Spanish literally changed my life. And it can do the same for you, but only if your vision for the future is clear. You've got to picture yourself, you got to see yourself speaking naturally with Spanish speaking employees, colleagues, clients, going to Madrid or Ciudad de Mexico, laughing and debating music with a new friend, connecting more deeply with your Spanish speaking in laws in their own language. It's visions like those that are your fuel. And you need that fuel because, quite frankly, learning a foreign language is hard as you will forget words you once knew well. You will hit plateaus where you feel stuck, and you will absolutely struggle to keep up with native speakers at full speed. And those moments of frustration we have, a nice to have attitude isn't enough. Only a deep rooted why keeps you in the game. So, first, please let me know in the comments what's your why? What do you aspire to do once you're fluent in Spanish? Now, here's the thing, passion and a why, they will keep you motivated. But I think we all know motivation alone is just raw energy. How are we going to use that fuel? The second pillar on our list is literally the biggest difference between those who succeed in becoming fluent in Spanish and those who don't. If a why is your fuel, this is the engine. And here's the truth, consistency is the only strategy. I mean, you remember that 90% of learners who fail. They don't fail because they aren't, smart enough or anything like that. They fail because they stop. They let the momentum die. They get excited and they let the momentum die. And this is especially vital if you're learning Spanish in middle age like I did. You're probably so busy, your head's spinning every day. Then the unplanned things happen. A sick child, an overdue bill, a flat tire at the worst time. Life happens, right? But the successful learners are the ones who adapt rather than quit. Your why is what prevents you from saying, "Oh, I'll just start again next month." And on this front, I do practice what I preach. As of this recording, I've logged 1,829 consecutive days of Spanish. That's over 5 years of daily exposure to the language. And trust me, like everyone, I've dealt with plenty of real life chaos in those 5 years. But here's the secret. A rule's not about rigid study. What it's about is 20 minutes of focused time daily as a minimum. And look, if I'm exhausted, I'm not hitting the grammar books. That's just reality. But I'm watching a YouTube video or reading the news in Spanish, or even, I've done this on occasion, using a language app, which I don't generally recommend, but I'll do it because I'm stuck somewhere and I want to hit my 20 minutes for the day. And in this world of digital resources, there's almost no excuse. You can listen to a Spanish audiobook on your commute, or come join me right here on Forever Spanish and, watch one of our videos during your lunch break. And let me tell you about consistency. It is never more crucial than for beginners. When you're starting out, a few days off doesn't just stall you, it takes you backward. A week off or a month off can be devastating to your progress. And what's that mean? It means you have to make learning Spanish part of your identity. It's a habit, not just like a task on your to-do list. And from my own experience, I know that staying consistent on your own is the hardest part of this journey. And that's exactly why we're launching a dedicated Spanish learning community this February, a place where you can find learning resources like you have never seen before and human support that will help you stay motivated and consistent. In the meantime, if you want to jumpstart your consistency right now, I'll put a free guide in the description below, and it'll help you map out your specific Spanish language goals and help you tailor a strategy that fits your life. But even with a great why and a consistent habit, there's still one final piece of the puzzle. How do you actually put learning Spanish on easy mode so you don't burn out? And that brings us to our third and final essential ingredient. But first, this is the part where I leave you hanging for a second. This is a brand new channel, and this is our first video. And we have so much great content planned, I can't even tell you. And I really appreciate you sticking with us this long. And if you've already received value from the video, just do us a favor. Hit that like button and the subscribe button. Let YouTube know we're here and you want to see more of us. And if you're serious about learning Spanish, you're going to want to see the things we have in store for you. Now, in all the YouTube advice out there on how to learn a foreign language, and at this point, I think I've seen all the videos really. Here's something it's really strange to me coming from adult education that no one talks about. If you're not enjoying the process, you won't stick with it. And I know this from experience, not just as a Spanish learner, but as someone who spent over 15 years as a subject matter expert in adult education, designing training programs for adult learners. Enjoyment is a fundamental pillar of learning. And I do know this personally because after multiple failed attempts, I finally cracked the code. My last try at learning Spanish worked because I made it human, and that made it fun. When you enjoy the process, you want to keep going. You actually crave consistency, and that's how real fluency happens. So, what are some ways to turn Spanish learning from a chore into something you look forward to? Find teachers who inspire you. Learning from someone, engaging, making a human connection, that is the type of thing that makes all the difference. Watch what you love. Already obsessed with a show, a topic on YouTube? Watch it in Spanish with subtitles. Join a community. Learning with others turns study into a social, supportive experience. Now, I do want to be clear with you. I'm not saying you'll never need to study verb charts or grammar, but even those topics can be made more fun. And we'll be talking more about how we'll be helping you make it more fun and more social when we launch our community in February. Remember this, as you watch your 100th video about whether comprehensible input is more effective than traditional learning, enjoyment beats efficiency every time. Enjoyment beats efficiency every time. When you love the process, consistency will come naturally. And as we said earlier, consistency is the only strategy to make you fluent forever. So that's it. Let's friggin' go. Like, subscribe, drop a comment below. Let everyone know your favorite way to make learning Spanish or any language really fun. And don't forget to check out the free guide in the description to create your own strategy to get from where you are today to being fluent in Spanish forever. Hágale pues.